Okay, I guess we'll go ahead and get started, Jeff. Thanks again for taking the time out to briefly discuss hopefully some possible opportunities that we might have. I'm teaching a applied linguistics course this semester, and it's a seven-semester group who are taking a four-year ELT program at a university in Mexico, and so. They have taken various linguistic courses throughout their BA career, and they've taken linguistics, social linguistics, psycholinguistics, discourse analysis. And this course that they're taking this semester is one where they are asked to complete an action research project. So basically taking a course that they're teaching this semester and applying some of the theoretical concepts that we're talking about in class, and trying to focus on a problem that they are facing currently with their own practice. And so I was curious because I know you're having some online discussions with your ELT live group, and it's a lot of the topics that you're talking about obviously pertain to them as well, as far as the different topics that you've talked about so far, and I guess what I'm curious to know is if there might be a way, because I think the challenge will be trying to coordinate the schedules, the hour in which you can conduct your online groups, and whether or not that can coincide with the schedule that we have face-to-face, because the idea that I had was to try to bring in or join basically a hangout online that maybe you have offered, and have our group listen and participate as possible. Just so you know, we have classes with computers and screens that are fixed in the classroom, so we can fairly easily get online as long as we have broadband. And so I think it's relatively easy to get us going as far as connected into a hang on air if again we can try to maybe schedule one where the schedules kind of coincide basically. So I don't know how much how much more I want to or I need to really go into. I mean, I can go into more detail about our class. We do a lot of work with Google Drive, and so all of their projects are online, they're open, and they're shared among the entire group as well as basically to the public. So a lot of the things that they do in this course are open. We're using Schoology to basically upload all the content that we discuss face-to-face. It is a face-to-face course, but we're complementing a lot of information and interactions that we do face-to-face in Schoology. So yeah, I don't know. There's I've really wanted to try to get this group kind of get some contact or get some openness or more openness to the group as far as getting more interaction and having them have more contact with in-service teachers in the field. And so that's basically what I'm thinking, and wouldn't mind hearing some of your thoughts.
I'd be glad to try to schedule a show that works time-wise and topic-wise for your group. And part of what I'm hoping to do with the whole ELT Live thing is not that it's my show, but that you build a community, we build a community of people who hang out and connect about whatever they want whenever they want. And so that'd be awesome to have like applied linguistics students from all over the world connecting on the same homework assignment one week and kind of having a global discussion about it. So yeah, I'm just kind of still in the pilot stage and trying to test stuff out and figure out where to house it online. Is it going to be, because I have eltlive.com, I've got English Bridges, which I want to get some kind of language learner webcast going within the next week or two. So it's going to be a very experimental semester for me, and so I'm up for anything.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be, if we could get one hangout this semester, I mean, that would be great. I mean, I'm not really looking for anything like formal as far as an ongoing thing, but just to see where it goes, where it leads, and really see. how my students respond, obviously, and how they interact, and just kind of because there's nothing. I don't really have a lot of this planned out myself either. But
I just love that idea. I love the potential of like, because how many people are studying applied linguistics this semester around the world? And probably the syllabus is pretty similar. We're doing this week 1, this week 3. And like, how cool would that be to say, all right, well, if you want to join your global study group, it's happening at whatever GMT, and just hang out. And they might stream it, they might not.
And we've got a syllabus and we've got course content that we're looking at in certain weeks, but there's nothing. We're, for example, this week or this unit, we're looking at different domains. So we're looking at individual skills and how they apply to different problems that they face with regard to listening and speaking, reading and writing. But that doesn't. There's a lot of potential. It doesn't necessarily mean that we have to talk about that one particular domain in a Google Hangout. So I think there's some flexibility as far as either recycling concepts that we've already talked about in class and or looking at discussions that maybe take part in the Hangout on Air and orienting them to that if they haven't seen it already. As far as from my side of it, it doesn't necessarily need to be within one particular area or content or theoretical concept that we need to discuss. But
and what's the schedule? When do you have class?
Okay, we meet 4 hours a week. We meet on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and we meet local time here from 8 to 9 in the morning on Mondays and Fridays, and from 8 to 10 on Wednesdays, and that's going to be Mexico time. So right now it's 7:19, so it would be like another 40 minutes from now.
Okay, so class would start in 20 minutes and go for 2 hours on Wednesday.
Yeah, it would be basically 10 o'clock your time, and I guess that's the question.
I'm fine with 10 o'clock, and that's also Monday and Friday.
Yeah, and so it could be any day as far as 1 hour. It can be Monday. Yeah,
so Monday's a possibility as well. And 10 o'clock here isn't actually. It's actually for me the sweet spot of global time zone webcasting is 1 hour later, 1400 GMT, because you get most of it's late in Asia, but you get most of Europe and the Americas are waking up. You lose Hawaii, but other than that, almost everyone from the Americas all the way to Asia are.
Is that any day of the week or specific days throughout the week?
But every day, like that's when.
Okay.
Time zone wise, it works out the
so
best.
that would be 11 to 12 your time, and what 9? To
right,
10?
but in this case, the class start time would be fine.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll think about it, and basically, if you see a particular day or a schedule, basically, you tell me if you have a particular schedule on a day. We can try to set it up, and if I don't know if you're using any type of show notes or Google Doc or anything where others can contribute to the planning of a particular hangout.
Sometimes I'll do a Google Doc. Sometimes I'll just use the event page and please post stuff here.
Okay. Or the event page would probably work. I'm just thinking too, like where I could kind of brainstorm as well, or whomever is going to be participating in that hangout could throw out ideas, thinking in the planning stage, thinking beforehand, either particular topics they want to discuss, or even studies that they want to share, or whatever.
That sounds good. And I would love to connect with others who are, focused on the same things, whatever we decide we're going to focus on. I have a request. Can I have access to your Schoology? I would love to see, just like as a student or whatever.
Sure, absolutely. In fact, if you want, I can take just a few minutes to do a screen share if you want.
Oh, that would be awesome. Because it's
kind of an open.
Mentioning it. I've logged in, but I haven't used it for real. So I'd love to see how it's being used.
And this is I'm going to go ahead and start a screen share here. And incidentally, this is the first semester that I've used Schoology. I've been using Canvas for the last year, which I really like. Can you see my screen?
Not, not yet. You froze.
Okay, I'll wait to see if it refreshes. You should see the Schoology page.
No, I just have a frozen.
Okay, let me try.
Oh wait, I think something's happening. We've gone to black.
Okay. Well, it's
No.
slow. Let me cancel and try again.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just finished. All right, let me try it again.
It's gone to black again.
Not sure what would cause that. Nothing, huh? Just,
No.
do you see now? I'm looking at my Google Hangout screen, which goes kind of crazy. Do you see that?
No, all I have is black.
Huh. Because it shows up on my little window here at the bottom. Let me try one more time. Or maybe I should try instead of desktop. Let's see. Oh, no, that's my only option. Okay, one more time.
Let me try to screen share and see if it's maybe. Have you? I mean, because really, we're just using Google Plus. Like using Business Hangout on Air shouldn't make a difference.
Yeah,
right?
the business Hangout on Air is just kind of a layer on top of Google Plus, and the functionality pretty much is the same. It just has a couple of additional features like the chat. If you want to try to do a screen share just to see.
Okay.
Yeah, I see. I see yours.
Okay.
It says here you have left. Yeah, I see yours fine.
Interesting.
Still nothing, huh?
Still black.
Still black. Well, I'll go ahead and copy and paste the link. Now, what I'm not sure about is what you're going to be able to see and not see, because I have different privacy levels and.
I clicked on your Schoology link before, and right now I see private access only.
All right, let me see if I can modify the settings here so that you can see it here. Let's see.
Oh, you know what? I can see stuff. I had clicked on something that took me to materials. Now I see updates, so I can see some stuff.
What I was going to send you is the updates link, and then from there see what you can see and not see. So let me. So you can see the updates.
I see updates. That's pretty much my only.
On the left-hand side above updates, do you have a link that says materials?
No.
Okay.
And when I clicked on that link, that's when I got the private access only.
Okay. In fact, if you want to share your screen, I'm curious what you see.
Sure.
And then I can see if I can change the settings to give you more access, because I'm trying to keep the course as open as possible, but there is some content that I need to share with the students, but not share with the entire world.
Right. So here's the updates page.
Okay, so that's all you see. All right. Let me see if I can.
When I try to click on the materials link, I get. That's.
All right, I'm going to make some changes here. See what.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, can you refresh and then let's see what you see.
Mm, Still getting private access only.
Okay, maybe try it one more time.
Okay.
Another refresh.
Mm,
Yeah, there's still a little bit new with some of this. Let's see here. Yeah, because I'm sharing this with everyone, so everyone should be able to see the updates.
I wonder if I have to like log out and log back in, or
Yeah. Um, well, that's a bummer. Well, I wish I could screen share. Let me try one more time.
okay.
'Cause that would really.
Oh,
Oh, there we go.
w-
Is that?
oh, this is just Schoolology Home. It's not your course. Let me go back to your course. Yeah, I still just see updates.
Okay. And you still can't see
I
the
cannot.
screen. Well,
Wait, wait, wait. Oh, I see it.
you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay.
All right, all right. So let me take you into the home page here. Okay, so it has these updates as you've seen already, and very much like Facebook. So there's a social component here, and which is really nice. So if I want to share things, a lot of times I'll be in my office and I come across information I want to share, and so this is a good place to do that. But under materials, I've organized all the content into folders, and so there's a folder for each unit, there's a folder for getting started, there's different folders for quizzes and assignments and discussions. So basically the students can go in here and access information related to what we've been talking about in class. So there might be any slides that were discussed. I have a timeline here that we discussed in class. Any files or folders are also shared within Schoology here. Let me see if I can find a discussion here. So discussions. I'm going kind of quickly. I'm not sure how fast this is refreshing at your end, but
It seems to be keeping up.
okay. So this was a discussion here as well. What I like about Schoology is that from the main page, all the information, well, and there's nothing upcoming now, but when there are quizzes or assignments due on the right-hand side of the screen, there are easy links that the students can refer to see what's going on. And there's a nice handy calendar as well that they can go through and find what's coming up, what we've already talked about, and what's left to do. So they've got several different views, different ways to really look at the information, access the content, depending on if it's an assignment or just for review purposes. And so one of the things, too, that I like a lot about Schoology that I actually prefer over Canvas, because I really like Canvas as well. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Instructure's Canvas platform.
Same thing. Like I'm familiar with it, but I haven't used it.
Okay. The Schoology has nice analytics. In fact, Canvas, that was one thing that I missed. I wasn't able to really track as much as I would like the way that the students were using or not using the site. So here I have a little bit more information, and I'm not going to go into all of these because there's some my students here, but you can track by user what pages they visit, how often, how much time they're spending on each page, and so it just gives you kind of a good way to analyze and kind of evaluate how, in my case, how I'm using this website for my face-to-face class. So.
And can you give quizzes and track results?
Yeah. In fact, we have quizzes. We have quizzes every 2 weeks, and the first quiz, the students went into the computer lab. They all completed the quiz, and it graded it instantly. It was a multiple choice in that case, and you can choose the amount of feedback that you want the students to receive from each quiz. If you want them to get immediate feedback once they've completed it, or if you don't want them to receive anything. Um, and so yeah, you can do quizzes, and it works pretty well. And you can include different types of question items. So if they're multiple choice or true and false or fill in the blank or essay, there's quite a bit of flexibility in the type of questions. Let me see if I can show you a quick example of that. So under materials, let's say you want to add a quiz, and you can also do a question bank. In fact, let me start there. Under my resources, you can. I have a question bank here where I can add questions per week, and then I can aggregate or bring in those questions into quizzes depending on how many questions I want per week. So typically we have a quiz every 2 weeks, so I'll bring in questions from the last 2 weeks. But you have the option of doing that however you want if you set it up this way and create questions by week. So for example, this is some past questions that the students had to answer, and this is really nice. Just have the question bank, because then when you generate the actual quiz, so let me go back to the actual course, you can bring in just whatever questions you want from that bank. So
Oh, that's very nice.
yeah. So I'll go into quizzes, and so here's one quiz. The second quiz was actually done in class, but here you could add a quiz. And you can assign dates, so you can have it available at a certain hour, and give them, if it's timed, you could also have it timed if you want. These are the categories, the grading categories that I've assigned for the course. You can create, and so here you would add a question. These are the different types of questions: matching, fill in the blank, short answer, or ordering, so on. If you want to bring it in from a question bank, then I would select this option, since I have the banks already set up. Here you can do page breaks and text, so if you want different sections, you can create different sections within those quizzes. One thing that you can't do, and I've been talking with them about this, is you have to assign an answer. So it is a quiz. It's not necessarily a poll or a survey. And so I've been trying to talk them into considering having the option of not having the option of not signing a correct or incorrect answer, so that you could create actual polls and not have to assign a correct answer. It would basically be the same thing, except you don't assign the correct answer, basically, and you don't. And it's not being graded. So hopefully one day that they'll have that set up. Under settings, here's where you show when you want it available, how many attempts that they can have to complete the test item. If you want to randomize the order, and so on. Just gives you a lot of.
I mean, it's a full-fledged. Like a pro profs or whatever. It's got all that.
Yeah, and it's nice because it's just integrated within the platform, and it's, like I said, it's graded automatically. So if we go to the grade book for applied linguistics, you'll see. Well, this will probably show up all of my students. So that's cool. And you have here the quiz 1, and so on. So, but yeah, that's.
Does it give you data like on a particular quiz how many students missed question number 8?
Yeah, in fact here, I'm not sure what it's going to show me now because this is just a test, but here's the analytics or statistics for this particular quiz. So obviously there's no information here, but you have the max points, the highest, the lowest grade, standard deviation, average, mean, mode, and what I think there's a way. I'm not sure if there's a way to see which question was. I think there is a question. I think whenever this graph populates here, you can go in from here and select, I think, which questions were answered incorrectly, or maybe there's a way to export this. In fact, yeah, you can export it to Excel and probably do your own analysis within Excel if you need to do more detailed analysis.
And this is all free.
Yeah, yeah.
What's their business model?
You know, I don't know. There are groups, and this is kind of a side issue here, but you know, these are my groups here. I've got 2 composition courses and applied linguistics a semester, and all 3 of my courses are here. But then you can also follow groups. So there are different groups. There's one on differentiated instruction, foreign language, for the classrooms, and so they have. You can share your resources with other teachers. So let's say you create a quiz or you create some sort of assignment. You can actually make that. You can decide how open or closed you want to make that that resource. So if you want to share that with another teacher, then other teachers can bring in content across courses, right?
That's very nice.
Yeah, and you know the business model, I'm not sure. I'm sure there's information online. Probably, I'm guessing schools, institutions who want to bring in Schoology as a platform into their own ecosystem, their own website. I would assume their business model is probably along those lines. I would assume. I'm just guessing, because I know that's what Canvas does, and they usually make it free for teachers if they just want to use it independently of the university. But I think you know, you build something like this, you can easily tailor it to. Should be able to tailor it to a university website to integrate it within their own personal, you know, their own private website. But I'm not really sure exactly what their business model is, and if they're going to be charging, you know, later on, which is always possible, I guess.
Yeah, I would be shocked to see them go to some kind of premium model or something. But thank you very much for the tour. That's kind of what I heard about it, and it looks really painless to use.
The last thing I want to mention very briefly, and this is related to the applied linguistics course and maybe perhaps linked to possible hangouts that we do, is all of the students share their Google document where they are doing their project. So we created a list here in Schoology, which is a Google Doc which is embedded into a page within Schoology, so that they can access all of their classmates' work. So the idea is that they're learning and looking, basically comparing what they're doing with the work of their classmates and getting feedback from each other. This is what I see in Google Drive, which I have organized all the documents within these documents. And so I'm hoping that the discussions that we have in Hangouts will be around, obviously, experiences that they've faced or problems that they're faced, really, and that's kind of the focus that I have for my group, is whatever topic that we are discussing, it's around some sort of issue or problem that typically that we face as English language educators, and trying to come up with either solutions or, if nothing else, to finding ways of better understanding the challenges and problems that we face. So that's kind of the overarching theme or goal that I would like for my group to get, is to constantly look at these problems that we're facing, since that is really the issue of applied linguistics, is to try to see how theory is relevant to particular local problems that are being faced. So that's kind of, I think, the overall objective of this particular group. And then beyond that, it's just a matter of taking wherever the discussion takes us, as far as the actual going into individual domains or pedagogy or whatever.
Okay, I'll kind of follow your lead on where to focus the conversation when we arrange to hang out.
Okay.
And this Wednesday, we're talking about smart technology. Although I'm contemplating moving it to Thursday, and I'm wondering how that affects you.
Well, we have the recordings, right? So we can, I can always, you know, adapt a class around recordings and discussions and that sort of thing. But
Now,
as
just
far
wondering, like you personally, if you wanted to join in, does Wednesday or Thursday make a difference to you this week?
no, what time?
Same time. It would be like right now. I think 7 o'clock your time, 7 a.m.
Okay, 7 is okay. I think the one you had, I think it was scheduled for 8, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
last week was 8.
Okay, so for me, 7 is, well, let me see. I usually get to the office about 7:15 every day because I've got to take my boys to school. So I
And you
usually get there about 7:15. So 7 is okay.
and you
If
teach at 8 a.m.
I
on
teach
Wednesday.
at 8, yeah, I teach
What
at 8.
about on Thursday?
Thursday I teach at 9. So a 7 o'clock, 7 to 8 would be okay with me. But I would be a little bit late. That's all.
Okay. Well, you start early. 8 o'clock's a really early class.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, and so just think
Okay.
about if maybe if there's a possibility of scheduling a hangout on air one day. Um, if we could do it maybe a week in advance, just so that I could kind of prep my group.
And do you have a preference as far as like, would you want to do it next week or in 2 weeks or in 6 weeks? Like, is there a part of the semester when it would
The sooner
better?
the better for me,
Okay.
really. Yeah. But as long as I have 5 days or so, just to
Yeah.
kind of so I can tie into what we're doing and prepare them a little bit, so that especially for the first one, just so that they can, because I don't think they've really participated, to my knowledge, in a hangout on air. So this may be new for them.
All right. Well, do you want to try it for next Wednesday, the 24th?
Let me see here. September 24th. Yeah, that sounds good. Like 8 to 9.
Yeah.
Okay, and we can decide later on the topic.
Yeah. If you want to go ahead and start a Google Doc and share it, and maybe put down some tentative thoughts on possibilities.
Okay, and will you set up an event, or
Sure. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that.
okay, and then I'll provide a link to the Google Doc in the event, and then we can
Okay.
brainstorm and share some ideas about what to talk about.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, thanks, Jeff. I appreciate your time staying up
Uh,
late here.
I appreciate your interest in all this, and a partner in crime.
Well, hopefully we can get something going here. So,
Yeah.
all
All right. Well,
right.
have a great day, and I'll
Thank you.
hang
You
out.
too.
Been a pleasure hanging out.
Yeah. Take care.
All right. Bye.
Bye.